Here is official Declaration 1, the end of polygamy.
Okay, the official Declaration 1. Following a revelation to Joseph Smith, the practice of plural marriage was instituted among church members in the early 1840s. See section 132 of the Doctrine and Covenants. From the 1860s to the 1880s, the United States government passed laws to make this religious practice illegal. These laws were eventually upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. After receiving revelation, President Wilford Woodruff issued the following manifesto, which was accepted by the church as authoritative and binding on October 6, 1890. This led to the end of the practice of plural marriage in the church.
So what Kathy has just read you is the official declaration that is called Canon Scripture within your scriptures, within the doctrines from the Mormon Church. And I will tell you, this is it is actually art. What they have produced here is the art of deception. This is one of the best examples of saying something that is true in a deceptive way. So here's the point. In that essay that says we have stopped polygamy, it quotes and it says, from 1860 to 1880, the United States governments passed laws to stop the practice of polygamy, which they did. They did. The United States government passed laws. But guess what? The state of Illinois already had passed a law in 1833, February 12th. So their statement that the United States government, Washington, D.C., caught on in 1860, that's true. But what they don't tell you is that Illinois, where Joseph Smith was practicing polygamy, had already passed a law in 1833. So what they said was true, but deceptive. They were breaking the law, but they were saying, in Washington, D.C., they had not started until 1860. Guess what? The Mormon Church had been breaking the law for 30-some years.
That's amazing.
It's nasty. And then later on in their statement, they say the following revelation of the practice of plural marriage was instituted among church members in the early 1840s. Well, you know what? That's absolutely true. Here's the key message. Here is the deception. It is an art form, and I give them credit for this beautiful sidestep of deception. They say that polygamy was instituted among the church members in the 1840s. Well, guess what? Joseph Smith started in the 1830s. Do you get that? So it's a true statement that the Mormon Church collectively started in the 1840s, but Joseph Smith started in the 1830s, and it was illegal. And here's another thing I want you to remember. Polygamy does not cover taking another man's wife. We have got to stop letting the Mormons get away with that when they say it's in the Bible. Give them that. Who cares? Give them the credit, even though they're wrong, that God never commanded polygamy. Let's give it to them and say, okay, let's say you did practice biblical polygamy. Would you explain to me the biblical standard for taking another man's wife?
So the official declaration, too, Lee wanted to show you that about polygamy to see how it contradicted itself, because they said that their official statement, really, that it was binding in October 6th of 1890. So the church accepted as authoritative and binding.
What Kathy's telling you, and then we'll move on, is that in what you call Scripture, something that has been canonized, the church says that the first essay became binding on October 6, 1890. Well, the essay that they had just released last year about the second manifesto says that that one was not binding. The second one was in 1904. That was the first time that the church had heard that they better stop it. So that's the point, is they lied. And what they canonized is the wrong one.